review about French here, and why I do it is because now I want to improve my oral, which is the speaking here. And the best way to do it, I have already studied the phonetics of it again. And I think it's best to do like a whole review of it and fill in the gaps if there's anything that I don't know about the French learning here. So today we're just going to very easy, just relax a little bit about French here. We're going to know from three aspects: the status of French in the world, which language family is French, and finally the difference between French compared to other languages, the other three languages that I have learned. So now we're going to start by looking at the status of French in the world here. So French is a very important language here. In the GO, which is the Jeux Olympiques in smaller form, you might see that how they use the audio here. They will first announce it in French, then in English, then whatever country is the official language of whatever country is broadcasting that here. So that's we could say the broadcasting order here. So as you can see here, I have written that French is the official language here. And these two, the Les Nations Unies, or the United Nations here, and the European Union, Union Européenne, is also French as the official language. So as you can see, the French is a very important language here. Why? Because its position and also its normative nature of its grammatical structure here, designated French by the NATO here, by United Nations, and designated French as its first written language here. So as you can see, the status of French in the world is very high here. That's why we say that's very important. And there's even like a journée francophonie, which means like a day only for French here, which is the 1 March, the 20th of March here. So as you can see here, how do we call that day in French? It's Journée internationale de la francophonie here, which means International Day of Francophonie here. Francophonie means like people who speak French or people whose native language is French here. So it's the 20th of March here, and this whole month, March, is the Mois de la Francophonie, which means that the whole month is dedicated to French culture or French film, French movies. So if you're living in France or somewhere else, you can check out for this month here, and surely they will have some French-related things that you can attend in. So now we're going to go to the second part, which is very short here. Is French is family and branch here. So French is in the Indo-European language family here. By the way, Indo-European is the largest family in the world, language family in the world. And in this large family, there's Romance language family and Germanic here. So in Romance, you have French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese here. And Germanic, you have English, German, Dutch, and Danish here. And later we are going to talk why English and French have some similarities, but they are so different as well. They are in different language families, but they still have some like similarities. And if you're wondering Chinese, by the way, Chinese is in the Sino-Tibetan language family here. Along with Cantonese and Shanghainese here, it's all in this large language family, which is Sino-Tibetan. So now we're going to go to explain why these relationships are so close and similarities. So now we're going to compare French to the other languages. So the first one that we're going to compare is French and English from two different families here. One Germanic, one is the Romance here. So as you can see in this graph, I'm going to put it up here. I have made the graph here. As you can see, we're going to compare French and English here. So they also have like shared vocabulary here that I have written here in brackets here. This is because that 28% of them English is Latin, 35% of them, in which 35% of them is from French here. Because English has a lot of words from French and Spanish, and they all originate from Latin. Both got Latin here. In the early days, in like 1st century here or 10th century here, they acquired English here. They conquered them. So there was a time when French was the official language of English. So now of England here. So now we have preserved that. So we have a lot of French words in English. For example, déjà vu, which means in French, already seen. This one is already a seen here. So the next one is you have rendezvous, which means like a meeting. So these are the words that we always use like when we are speaking daily, the English speaking here. So we have the French style here, and what actually is French style is the effortless. So effortless, to achieve something effortless. So now this effortless will come to elegant again, which means to achieve something elegant effortlessly here. And that's why we're going to concentrate on one letter, N here. That's why we now pronounce it as the fictional one. But in the early days, we pronounce it as the umlaut, the same as in Spanish here. So if you can listen to a song like the V on Horse here, in like the first version, there, like the Edith Piaf who has sung it, you can hear that the umlaut is very strong here. But nowadays, we don't pronounce it, we just pronounce it fictional here, because the new generation will just think that if we pronounce the umlaut, it will be too old-fashioned as always here. So now we're going to shorten it to like to a fictional one that is going to have fictional in our throat here. So here is the definition of effortless style and French style in French here. So I'm going to read it out loud and you can hear if it sounds elegant to you. So let's start. Il s'agit d'un style qui se base sur la simplicité, la sobriété et la qualité. L'objectif est de paraître élégant tout en laissant transparaître une certaine nonchalance, une essence naturelle qui aide les regards, which means that this effortless different style is based on simplicity and effortlessly here. So this we can see the objective is to have elegance without using much force here. So that's basically what this first paragraph has already said to us and what we have already summarized inside of it. So now we have already successfully compared French itself, French and English. So now we're going to move on to French and Spanish now. So now we're going to compare French and Spanish here. They are all the same family, which is the Romance language family, but they have different sound philosophies here. So the first we're going to still look at the vowel shape, the vowel system, the mouth opening, the rhythm, and grammar in sound here. So now we're going to continue with the first one, which is vowel shape here. We're going to still use the same example word like made, fixed, no blight here. But in Spanish, we have a very similar word, but it means a lot of different meanings here. This means month. This means March. So you can see this one is mess, which means fixed and open here. This one is fixed, but you have to open your mouth. Mess. Hoy as mess. And the cielo and febrero as the cielo mess come out like this one here. S. Particularly this sound here. S. Open your mouth. And the next one we're going to talk about like the vowel system here. In which now we're going to use this word. In French as vin. And this means wine. And wine here is nasal, bon, here. similar to this one in Chinese. But with like we could say this one very similar. This one is bang in the nasal contrast here. But in Spanish it is vino. This one also means wine. So wine here is vino and French is vin. Vino here is oral only. There's no vin. No, there's no this thing. There's no the nasal cavities here. This is just from like the front of it. Vino. But this one's going back. Vin. So the next one we have like the mouth opening as well. So in which that we're going to use another word that I'm going to write down. So here we have like voices, consonant plus vowel, so that we can voice it, but this one is not a voice consonant, which is draw for you because in that our throat will be a vocal cord vibrate, which is b. You can feel it vibrating, but this one is just voice, b. This does not mean that our vocal cord will vibrate here. It's just b. In professional terms, it's called as aspirated. That's what it's unaspirated voiceless consonant here, which means 不送气的清辅音 because we do not have we but it's not voiced. We just don't have our vocal cord vibrating, but we don't have any air that's going out here. This one is b, which is like very little under the loo, which means a little of water here. So we're going to compare to our Spanish here. Casa, which means home. So this one, as you can see here, but very small and rounded. But this one is wide. Casa, and open here, and especially the vowel at the end, casa. We made our mouth very open. So just a reminder here, this one we're going to be a b. So it's b. So this one b does not have any vibrating in the vocal cord, just a little bit, but it's not b, which means the T will vibrate a lot here. So just remember these two differences here. So now we're going to have the rhythm here. Here we're going to talk about one word. This one in French is very long, which means rapidement. So this one means quickly here in French. So this one is very smooth. Very smooth, rapidement. Very smooth and flowing to here. But if we translate the same word into Spanish, it will be rápidamente. This one is how we write it in Spanish here. So as you can see, if we compare it with another chalk, we can see that also this one is a T here. So this one we add an A at the end here. So this one we have an accent here, in which we're going to have an emphasis rápidamente. So this one the same here. This one we have a vowel A, this one has a vowel A. So it's rápidamente. Accent here, rápidamente. As you can see here, you can feel and hear the clear syllable. It's rápidamente. So as you can see here, it's not like here, rapidement. It's not smooth, but you can hear the consonants and the syllables. The last two things that we're going to compare is the grammar in sound. So, and the style of the feeling here. So in French, we're going to use this word. Parlons, which means speak here. And you can see here, parlons, we do not pronounce the t in the end. So this one means ending is silent, parlons. We just pronounce it here. In oral, we speak it as parlons, but we cannot write the T at the end, which is T French here, we have to write the table. We are going to write this word down, but we only pronounce this word at the end. Bachelor. We just pronounce until the end. So remember this here, and in Spanish we're going to compare to the same one when it's big. Hablan. And this one, as you can see here, all of the vowels and consonants and all of the words and all of the letters are pronounced, including the last one, the end. Hablan. So as you can see, this one ending is mostly silent and the ending is mostly pronounced here. And the last one is the style of the feeling here. So in French, we're going to have elegant, which is elegant here. So as you can see, elegant, we're going to have deep in the mouth. We are using the force, the excited. But if we tune this up to like the forward there, you feel that it will resemble elegant. But actually inside of it, so the effort is hidden. But the Spanish here, this word pasión, the effort is visible, pasión here. Stress, pasión. This one is effort hidden and effort is visible here. So now we also have successfully compared French and Spanish. So now we're going to compare French and German. And just a note here, French and German has the biggest differences, but not as big as French and Chinese here. So now we're going to compare French and German here. So the first there is the word boundary. I didn't write it down. So there's the word boundary here. So if you can see here, if we have French, we are going to have a word with a liaison like les amis. Now we're going to do the liaison. So we're going to do this. We're going to link it les amis, and this as we pronounce the les amis here. But German on the hand is always separated. There's nothing like liaison. So as you can see, if I wrote it here as Mitarbeit, there's always a space here. There's always a space, Mitarbeit. You cannot do it like Mitarbeit, no. We just do a Mitarbeit, separate it, and this one is linked here. So the next one is the final consonant here that we already talked about in French. The last consonant is usually silent here. Like this one, dong. So this one, we don't pronounce it here. We don't pronounce the S here. So as you can see here, this means time, dong. German on the other hand, if we have Zeit, we not only pronounce it, but we also add the accent here, Zeit, which means strong closure here. So here we have very strong ending, Zeit, very strong here, but French, we often escape it, we often jump it, we don't pronounce the last consonant here. And next one that we're going to compare is the R sound here. So if we pronounce it here, this one is rue, which means street. This means street here, rue. As we already said, this one is a frictional one. Down our throat is rue, like here. But if we put it inside of our German here, then it will be rot. We can also pronounce this as a frictional one as well. But there are some people who also pronounce it as an umlaut for rot here, but it's usually a frictional rot. So the next one that we're going to compare is also the vowel strategy here. So if I go to erase here as well, in the vowel strategy we have in French lune, which is rounded position. So lune, lune, like here. in Germany, in the German, on the other hand, is mood. Mood. Remember that this there appears a T at the end. Mood. Mood. Here. So this one is rounded and also length here. But you also have to pronounce the last one, mood. Mood. We cannot like pronounce it like here. Loon. Loon. This one we can skip it off, but this one we have to pronounce it. So remember this one as well. So there's also very important aspect of it is rhythm here. If we take this one for example. So as you can see here, we're going to talk about like the vowel strategy here, in which this one is loon. It's rounded position here. Loon is round. Mood here, this one we have to pronounce it, but this one we can skip it over it. It's mood, which is rounded and left. So this one we have mood. This last one we have to pronounce as well. So you can see it's rounded and then also the left here. So next one we're going to talk about the rhythm here, in which as you can see in this word, organisation in French means organization. It's very continuous here. Continuous flow, organisation. But if we say in German, it's Organisation. It's the same as French, the spelling, but it's organisation. But so this one is Tion in German, but also we put the Organisation. We put the last one, Organisation here. So as you can see here, it's segmented. And by the way, this also means organization, but you can hear the syllables Organisation. This was Organisation in German as well. So as you can see now, we're going to talk about the style of feeling of it. So as you can see now, we're going to compare French and Chinese in Mandarin Chinese, 普通话 here. So we're going to have the core contrast here. French, we're going to take this one. Vang. So here, vang, we're going to have the vowel quality here. Vang, here. Similar to, as we say, similar to this one, in Chinese, in which the nasal cavity here. But if we have, like in Chinese, we're going to go back to the basics here. We have said ma, ma. This one is vowel. Now we're going to talk about the vowel here. This was e, which is like in French as here. But if we change it into Chinese, we're going to have like the pinyin here. So as you can see in pinyin part, we also have the vowels here. It's ma, but we have like the 4 tones, like this one, the second one should be this one. So here we have like the 4 tones. One is straight, ma, ma. The second one is going up, ma. And this tone changes the meaning, in which French does not. Obviously, it does not have here. And French we have the nasal vowels, and Chinese we also have like the nasal vowels, in which here we also have 前鼻音韵母 and 后鼻音, which is like we also have n and in which we going to have example. This one is n. So this one is like this one is at the front here. At the front, it also goes to the nasal cavity, but this one goes to the back. But this one is n. You can actually hear it. One is at the front, one goes to the back here. And as talking about that, we have to talk about one thing, which is the word boundaries here. So if we take one word or 2 words here in French, we're going to say les amis. Is that right? Les amis here. So change a little bit like German here. If we have, how to write it? This one is. So this word is the zami here, but this word is separated, so like 学生, 学生. This word could be a second tone, by the way. And this word is the combination that we just talked about. So this word you have to curl your tongue back, and the voice, the air should be going back to your nasal cavity, so it's 学生, in which the French, we have this thing called the liaison here, which is interconnected. So remember, three things about French is the first of all, the French alphabet style. The next one is the ouvla, the no ovulatorial R, but the frictional thing R. And the third one is no diphthongs, there's no gliding here. So that's it for this series and for this video. So we'll see each other on the next video.